See. Hello, everyone. I'm just going to check we're going live on Facebook. This is a new app that I am trying. So, first time on here. Yes, we are live. So, welcome to the first live of Horse and Hounds Hub Social. Great to have you here. Hopefully, it's not too loud. It's just started absolutely pouring here, and I think it's going to hail soon. So, hopefully, you can hear me okay. So when you jump on, just say hi. And if you're catching the replay, then just drop hashtag replay. And if you've got any comments or questions, then pop them in the chat below. You'll also see above the post, above this video, there's a little link, a streamyard.com/Facebook. If you just click on that so that when you post your comments, we can see who they are from. So that would be fantastic. So thanks for joining us. And today I have an incredible lady, Lisa Hamilton, and she's going to be sharing some of her pack saddling journeys. So it's a whole new area for me. I haven't done any of this before, and I'm really intrigued to hear about her stories, the gear she uses, and, you know, any other tips and tricks that she can help you guys with as well. So I'm just going to invite Lisa on. So hi, Lisa.
Hey,
how are you? Welcome.
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fantastic. So
hailing at your place?
Yeah, it's pretty wet
here, but not. We've got a little bit of rain here, but not too much.
So thank you for joining us today and sharing a bit about, you know, your passion of pack saddling and your horses and traveling around Australia doing that. I think it's going to be an incredible insight into a different area of our horsemanship and getting out there in nature. So if you want to tell us a little bit about how you got into pack saddling and kind of what sparked your interest in that area.
Well, it kind of started with my neighbour. I mean, I've always had horses and they were kind of paddock ornaments for a lot of years. And a neighbour of mine decided she was going to go to the Snowy Mountains on a paid trek. I think it was 5 days. And she kind of asked me to go. And I kind of said, no. And then in the end, my partner said, just bloody go, you know. So I ended up going, having an amazing week up in the Snowy Mountains, riding someone else's horses. And then we got back and I thought, right, that's it. I'm getting back into the trail riding. Because as a kid, I absolutely loved trail riding. I grew up in Canberra, so there was a lot of trail riding, forests and stuff to ride around in there. And so then I joined a local trail riding club and just happened to meet some amazing women from South Australia that travel all the way to New South Wales every year to do day rides up there. So then that's how I kind of got to go take my own horses to New South Wales. And then one of them just happened to be a pack saddler. There's not many in South Australia that actually pack saddle. So, yes, my good friend Ruth, she introduced me to it. And now I've spent thousands of dollars on all my gear and stuff. But, yeah, and ever since then we've gone away pack saddling. So,
amazing.
Yeah, it's an amazing way to use your horses too. So my horses were not really doing a lot, but yeah, now they do a lot more. So
you said you're in South Australia.
Mm-hmm.
So it's is there a lot of places you go there, or do you more head up into the snowies and up into the mountains, or, you know, for long trips?
Yeah.
Or where do you kind of travel?
In South Australia, we've got the Flinders Ranges. That's absolutely beautiful riding there, but to pack there, you kind of need to have backup. So you can't be self-sufficient, really. And it's a lot of, you know, you need feed for the horses, water for the horses, and, you know, water for yourselves. And so it's a little bit more difficult. So that's why we go to either the Snowy Mountains in New South Wales or Victorian High Country, because you can be self-sufficient. So you don't need people following you around with, you know, horse feed and human water and stuff like that. So that's the beauty of traveling interstate, you know. Yeah, it's amazing places. Yeah,
I think that would be, you know, a big trek for some people, just getting their horses to those areas where they can go off. For you to travel from South Australia, like to New South Wales, that's a big trip in itself for you and your horses. How do you manage that?
It's a 2-day trip. So we travel to Hay, which is halfway. And it's probably the easiest part of the trip because it's quite straight roads. And then we travel to the rest of the way the next day, obviously, to we go up through Tumut and then up to the Snow Mountains that way. And yeah, I don't mind it. I actually enjoy it. It's kind of a part of the whole journey, you know. Like we get to Hay and we stay in the rodeo grounds, showgrounds there. So they've got toilets and showers and stuff. But usually when we get there, there's like the Hay races are on. So it's always So there's always something going on, or we've always got some sort of story after we leave there, and we always have lots of champagne. It's like this relief when you leave. Like for me, working up to the day you leave is quite stressful because all the stuff you have to remember. Because it's not only your packing stuff; it's all the other stuff you need. You know, when you're just camping in your float, kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you get to Hay and it's like, oh, whatever you've got, you know, like, and that's like this big release. And a lot of the times we've, probably had too much of a good time. The next day's been a little bit hard.
Well, we're going to get into, we'll just say hi to Joanne. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, Joanne.
Remember,
She's
guys,
the queen packer.
Oh, fantastic. Remember to click the link just above the StreamYard link, and that way we can see your names that come up. So, okay. We see Ruth love her bubblies as well.
Yes, Ruth. She's the one that's the instigator. She got me into bubbles.
So I want to hear about the things that you have to take. But firstly, I want to hear about some of the most memorable trips you've had up into the Snowies or any of the other areas that you've been. Like, what's the trip that sticks out the most for you?
Oh, there's so many memorable moments in all of the trips. One of the trips was a few years ago now, and we got caught out in, it must have been like 150 mil of rain. It's the first time that I've ever been caught out in the rain pack selling because we've usually been pretty lucky. And I just remember we were stuck at Rocky Plains, I think it was, and we were there for a couple of days because there's so much rain. And it's lucky it wasn't too cold, so we were getting around in our bloody knickers and boots because we didn't want to get our pants wet in the grass. And then I woke up and my tent was full of water at the bottom because we've had these old tents for ages and they're great tents, but I'd never been in the rain. And I woke up, luckily my sleeping bag's like waterproof. So there's a tip, make sure your sleeping bag's waterproof. And I'm just sleeping in this like puddle of water. And then I look out at Ruth and she's got all the, she's in a low spot. So she's just like fully reined in and we had to laugh. Oh, and then after that, we eventually got going, and then we went through the, I think it was the Tantangara River, and oh my goodness, that is the deepest river I've ever been to. And my horse, like, he wasn't really that experienced with river crossings, and we got halfway in, he went straight in, which was bloody hell, and then he stopped in the middle. And like my poor little pack horse, she's not that big. It was almost like she was floating around on the rope, and anyway, it was pretty hilarious. shitting my pants, but we had a good laugh afterwards.
Oh, that's good. And you normally go in a small group of people? Well, or do you go by yourself at all?
I haven't actually been by myself. I mean, that's what I'd probably like to be able to do. That's a challenge in itself, you know, not being too scared to do it on your own. We have a Kidman Trail here in South Australia, which is horse friendly. So that's probably something I would try first on my own.
Yeah.
But yeah, mostly it's just, I've only really packed with the two of us. So yeah. It's kind of good too because packing, you really have to pack with people that you get along with because it can get stressful and tiring. And yeah, so Ruth's the perfect pack buddy for me. I mean, I haven't been with anyone else, but we both kind of got the same temperament kind of thing, I guess. You know, we like our own space, but we like to have a laugh, and yeah, it's perfect. Yeah.
So make sure you have a waterproof sleeping bag.
Yes.
And you pack with people that you really like.
Yes, because when it gets tough, you don't need people getting all silly on you and
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, very good. And so when you're out there up in the snowies or up in the mountains, we've got our lovely Australian Brumbies. Have you ever come across them? And if so, how close have they come to you and your horses?
Oh, they come pretty close. Actually,
Right.
one year, we were up at Broken Dam Hut, I think, and we put the camp up and the yards and horses all safe, and we'd come across these Brumbies coming in having a look, and anyway they were coming in a little bit too close, so I thought, well, I'll go out and shush them off, and anyway I walked out there, and then I thought, I'll just take some photos because they're beautiful looking Brumbies. And so I squatted down, and next minute they must have been yearlings, I think. They come straight up to me like no hesitation. It's like, oh shit. So I'm just sitting there thinking, oh no. And then I had a rope with me because that's what I was going to scare them off with. And they were pulling the rope, and then the rest of them all just come up, and I thought, oh, shit. And then they started following me, so then I had to scare them off because, you really shouldn't have contact with them, really. And so that was pretty special. But yeah, this year we were at Coonamble, and it was really bad night. But it would have been 50 Brumbies came in that night, and because people left hay out, and there are yards to put your horses in, but they just left bales of hay everywhere. So you're getting all these mobs of Brumbies coming in, and oh yeah, they were real close. They weren't interested in our horses; they were interested in the hay. But it was a bit scary because when you've only got like little posts and a little bit of tape to keep your own horses in, anything can happen. And worst night I've ever had pack saddling. Yeah.
So it's really important then to look after the area where you're camping and staying, like take all your rubbish, make sure you don't leave horse feed around and all those things.
Yeah, because then other people will come into the camp and then they'll start complaining about the Brumbies, like people that aren't really horse people, and then the Brumbies get a bad name. But they were just coming in for a feed, and someone that was irresponsible had left like bales everywhere, and yeah, so it was a bit disappointing. But yeah, that's just life as a pack saddler. We stayed up all night too, and sleeping out in our sleeping bags, and oh god, it was horrific. And then the next day we because we were actually hiking this was the last pack trip. We were actually hiking with a pack horse, and so in the end we ended up that night we had no sleep, and the next day we walked 26 k's home.
Wow. Wow.
Lucky there's champagne at the floats. I think that's what kept us going.
So when you head off and you trek out from a camp, do you stay at another place, or do you always come back to that sort of base area?
As in when we're packing?
Yeah.
Well, we leave our floats, or we're somewhere at a campground or a hut, or wherever you can get your car into, and then usually we'll stay at huts, because usually they're by water. But we have bush camped as well. I like bush camping out in the middle of nowhere. As long as you've got water and grass for the horses, that's all you kind of need. But we do stay out a lot of huts.
Okay.
Which is nice too. I like, staying at the huts, and it's usually pretty safe there.
We'll have to get you to drop some photos in the group of some of the places you've stayed. That'll be lovely to see the huts and the the incredible Brumbies that you've seen, and just get a feel for the environment for those that haven't been up there. So on those trips, obviously you've got camping, you've got all your horse stuff, you've got your horse pens, all of that. How on earth do you fit it on your pack horse and with you? I cannot get my head around all the stuff that I think I'd need to take.
Well, the first year, like, because, I can only go on what I've been shown, and then you kind of tweak what gear that you use and what you don't. The first year I went away, I reckon I had almost bloody 15 kilos of food, and I didn't eat any of it. I was so nervous the whole trip. I didn't eat anything. So you don't need, only take enough food that you think you're going to eat. And I had all this stuff that I really didn't need. So every pack trip you realise, well, I don't need that. So now I'm kind of getting, and my first pack trip, I reckon each box weighed over 20 kilos.
Oh,
so
wow.
that was quite a lot. Now I'm down to probably 15 kilos a box, and I've got, and everything I have, I use. So
okay.
Oh, it's an emergency, thing
Yeah.
that you need in an emergency.
And so what about for your horses then too? That includes all your horse gear and
so
fencing and tents.
So we take I take a rug, like a combo now. I used to just take unlined rugs, but the combo, I just take a cheap combo. They're not that heavy, and I think it's worth it, especially if they're just eating the grass and stuff. And usually, they got their summer coats. So you go up there, South Australian horses, they've got their little summer coats, and then you'll go up there and you'll get snow. So
yeah, wow.
The first time I went out, it was a 35-degree day. We left, and then that night it got down to minus something, and they were absolutely freezing that next day.
Yeah.
And thought, oh wow, welcome to pack saddling, Yeah. So then,
always take something for your horse as well, hey?
Sorry?
Always take something for your horse as well.
Yeah, because they're doing all the hard work. So
yeah.
But I take all their fence posts. We have like little fiberglass fence posts that they're cut in half, and then they slide into each other. Got little sleeves on them.
Okay.
So then they're easy to transport. And I have a little electric fence unit that just takes 2 D cells. So that kind of keeps them contained. I haven't got hobbles yet. Because I've always kind of thought, oh God. But then, some nights when it's scary and there's bloody brumbies coming in and it's windy and you can't hear them and stuff, like, I think it's a safer to have them hobbled in their yards. But so that's probably the next thing I will get. Not all the time, but mind you, if mine got out, they look pretty you'd be able to spot them, especially one's an Appaloosa that I took last year, so she stands out, and the other one's a big old standardbred, so I could just see him pacing off and get with the brumbies, but just a little bit of peace of mind, because if you're out in the middle of nowhere and you lose your horse, well, you've got a lot of gear to get out of there, and plus you lost your horse, so
little tricky.
Yeah.
So is there one bit of gear that you can't do without, that you always go, I don't forget that, Lisa?
Well, one of the pack saddling rules is never ever forget your alcohol.
Right.
Never, always, that's the last thing you unpack. And most of the things are, that I take now you really need, but just little things like if you forget your hammer, I know that sounds silly, but it's a pain in the ass if you've got tent pegs or and you're banging in your fence posts. And it's like when we bang in the fence post, we've got a little bolt that we use that we stick in the top so you're not wrecking your fence post. And if you lose that, that's a pain in the bum. So it's little things.
That's a good tip.
Yeah. It's the little things that you probably miss. But obviously you can't forget your sleeping, your tent and your sleeping bag. And I always take a pillow, because I've tried, people say, oh, you don't need a pillow, just use your clothes and stuff. No, that doesn't cut it. So I just get a real cheap pillow, and I cut it in half, and I put like and it packs down in your box really well. And so you got to have comforts and a chair. Take a chair, because I know that's kind of probably luxury, but especially last year when we hiked, you need somewhere good to sit. Because the one year I went and we had these new chairs, and the first night I sat in one, it broke, So I went the whole trip without a chair, and oh yeah, sitting on the ground doesn't cut it when you're tired.
Oh, fabulous. So take your hammer, take a good chair, take a pillow or half a pillow, a waterproof
Yep,
sleeping bag,
yep,
a rug for your horse.
yep.
Have we missed anything else that's vital?
Oh God, I could talk for
Food and
hours
alcohol.
about all the gear. Yeah, you have to have your alcohol. Exactly. And I've got a new way of having alcohol. It's I take vodka and then I take these electrolytes. They're real healthy electrolyte. They're sugar free type thing. But I take that raspberry one. So you just put a dash of that into your vodka and the water, and it's like I don't know, you're having. It tastes amazing. Everything tastes amazing when you go away in the bush. But yeah, and now Ruthie's onto that too, so she's going to do that next time.
I can see you both sitting around a little campfire, having a little drink and cooking some
Yeah,
food.
a tipple in the bush. It is nice. I mean, you only have one a night. You're not getting written off or anything. We only probably take 500 mils, and that lasts 2 weeks, so that's pretty good. But sometimes I used to take port, but because that's pretty good for keeping you warm as well. But yeah, it's a bit like too much luxury there.
And what about your horse's feet? Like looking after your horses whilst they're up there. Do people have their horses shod? Are they barefoot? Do you need to take things for your horse in terms of horse husbandry stuff as well and taking care of them?
Well, their feet, all ours are barefoot, so we take boots when we need
Yeah.
them. Snow Mountains isn't so bad because it's pretty soft up there. But even every now and then you're stuck on a gravel road, so you can't get off them. So we'll put boots on. Usually, because we only really go out for 2 weeks, we kind of don't really have to do much to their feet. And yeah, if they haven't got their boots on, they're wearing their feet down. So
yeah,
it's all good. Stephen did get a little split in his frog last year, so that was a bit of a bummer. But yeah, he ended up being all right. He's a tough old horse, so we had a rest day, and
What are the names of your horses? You got Stephen and
I got Stephen, Phoebe, and Toby.
Okay.
Toby used to go, but at the moment I ride Stephen and pack Phoebe because Phoebe's a lot littler.
Okay.
And it's easier to put the boxes on. But this year I took Stephen because we hiked because Ruth's other horse got sick just a little bit before we were going away. So we thought, well, I've always wanted to hike for some sick reason. So I talked her into doing it, and yeah, we did that. So I took old Stephen, and he's about 16.3, so I was really having to chuck those boxes up onto him, but I did it, so it's possible when you want to do something, you can do it. So
what makes a great horse packing? What qualities have you discovered, is really great in your horses that make them great pack saddle horses?
I don't know. They just have to be quiet. All mine are pretty quiet anyway. You put all of them. I put the boxes on for the first time, and they really didn't care. I guess it's good to have a horse that if you're riding one and leading one, the one that you're leading needs to kind of have a bit of a brain, not just be following aimlessly. So Phoebe's a good one for that. She's pretty clever, so I can always. Most of the time, I can just trust her to be okay. Whereas the chestnut horse, I used to pack him, and he was great. He didn't care about the packs, but he's a little bit stupid sometimes. I nearly lost him down a bloody. We're in Victoria, and it's a bit tricky there. You're either on fire tracks or on these little tiny goat tracks, and then there's like a massive drop. And he decided that he'd drop a leg down the side of the bloody mountain, and oh God, it was nearly lost him. But yeah, so
so sure-footed. They've got to be sure-footed.
Make sure they're sure-footed and they can think for themselves.
Yeah, fantastic.
Most horses it'd be okay with pack saddle on, but they learn pretty quick. Yeah.
Oh, good. Well, thank you for sharing some of your stories, the places you've been to. We'd love to see some photos in the group of some of the places you've been
Yeah.
to, and maybe
Yeah, I've
a
got
couple of
plenty.
links. And maybe I know you brought a special chair as well recently, so maybe a little pic of that, and
Oh,
so people can
yeah.
see that what type of chair you're
Yeah.
talking about. Because we're not talking about the big
I haven't got it
lounge
here.
chairs with the feet sticking up and it's going to take up a lot of space. You've got a nice little compact
Ah,
chair.
this is. I was taking away a stool.
Yeah.
This little fold-up stool you buy them at any camping shop, and they weigh less than a kilo, and they fit in your top pack. So there's you don't have to spend a lot of money for something to sit on. But I got my dream chair before I went away. It's a Helinox chair. It's um super light and
Oh, we lost you for a moment.
just. I'll take some photos of it. Yeah, I'll get
That'd be
some of my
fabulous.
gear out.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm sure people would love, they mightn't be able to get out and about at the moment, but, can
yeah,
certainly think about planning a trip and the gear that they might need and that type of thing as well.
yeah,
So it's nice to have a look at what other people are using and
yeah.
see if it's going to suit their trips as well. So thanks so much for sharing. We look forward to seeing more about your trips and journeys from the past and coming up in the future as well. So thanks so much for joining me today, Lisa.
No worries. Thank you for having me. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
Any
fantastic.
reason to talk about packing?
So if you're catching the replay, make sure you do drop hashtag replay below. If you've got any questions at all around pack saddling, then drop them in the feed below and we'll see if we can get Lisa or one of the other experienced pack saddlers in the group to drop their comments and their answers in there just to help you guys out as well. So
No worries.
we'll see you in the group. Thanks,
No
Lisa.
worries. See ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.